Episode 100.
Yeah.
Episode 100.
We made it this
far.
100. That's super hot, too. By the way.
What? It's super hot me?
Yeah, this whole thing.
Episode 100. Good evening, geeks and gamers, and welcome to the Mythicast, the podcast sponsored by Mythicos Studios right here in downtown Randolph. I'm your host, Father Time. And with me, as always, is my good buddy, Lord Mortis, the tip of the spear.
Father Time. Happy 100th.
Happy 100th.
All right. Big Mike.
Ching ching.
Ching
Michael,
ching.
Mr. Masucci.
I guess you too, Sooch. Happy 100. You don't drink,
Nope,
so
I got the water.
you're celebrating with water. So we made it to 100. You believe it? And as always, we have our
rum,
because you can't do this without rum.
and
In the background, we
our
have...
little bitty cigars. And our gang, the whole gang is here for episode 100.
Yeah. So it's actually amazing. How many years now?
4, maybe
4
5.
years, really?
Maybe
Yikes.
5. Since the very first one, you want to go down memory lane?
Yeah. So,
Different music if we're going down memory lane.
you have memory lane music?
I do. I
Yeah.
always have that.
Freaking 100 episodes. Oh, very special. Very special.
Yeah.
Let's remember those who are no longer with us. Who's their first? The pirate, Red.
Red the Pirate. Do you remember when he used to do his, who was that painter guy that he used to imitate for his...
the Bob, the painter Bob.
Bob Ross?
Bob Ross, yes. He used to
thank
do
you.
his Bob Ross version of
Yeah.
what to do during
But what happened
making
to
scenery.
Red? Red got married.
Red did get married.
He grew up, and then one day he was no longer with us. She destroyed his life.
I don't know if I go that far.
Oh, okay. She made his life more difficult.
And how about Angry Ant?
Angry Ant got a profession, got a big job, beautiful wife, beautiful children,
Yeah.
a big career.
Working in Manhattan.
And for some reason, he thought that was better than us.
I don't get it. I
No,
really don't
me
get
neither.
it. I
So
don't
he-
understand it.
He left us.
Honorable mention to Hoot,
The Hoot.
who, although was never actually on the podcast, has actually influenced the podcast a great deal with his great letters and questions.
Are you going to
Mythicos.
leave out Evil Joe?
Yes, I was going to leave out Evil Joe. But,
Evil Joe is probably the most important person to
ever.
this whole story, right? Well, he's
not sure why.
He's not a part of it. He's
He
never
could have been here today.
I hate the fact that we have like this peanut gallery in the background that mimics everything we say.
Are you
It's
mimicking
terrible.
everything we're saying, or are you mocking?
Everything you say.
Yeah, so episode 100, and we're actually going to be putting this on video, aren't we?
That's what we say.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if it actually
We were going
gets
to try to
delivered.
stream it, but we couldn't figure it out. So we're going to do it as a YouTube video.
But we're buttoned up today. We have a
We are
bigger
buttoned
plan.
up. We have a full day of gaming today, right?
Yeah.
And then we're going to launch it with news. Do you actually have news?
Have you
I
noticed?
have news.
Have you noticed that Sooch has been extremely quiet? He's nervous
I
to
know.
be on camera. I can tell.
You know what? I haven't even thought of it until now, but now that you mentioned it,
Now you're
yeah.
conscious.
Now you're
Now I'm
nervous.
con- now I'm
Look at the
conscious
camera.
of
The
it.
camera's over there.
Oh no, I don't want to
And
look
show
at it.
everybody your monk haircut.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the little models.
Oh,
I should get
oh.
the same haircut as the new
The Taino?
Taino models.
Yes.
And that would fit right in.
You actually managed to paint some Taino archers.
I did. They were fun. I do like different poses. Actually, I like how you can arrange them in a little firing line to make it look like this guy's firing over in the back, this guy's crouched in the front. So
Sure,
it looks like a little thematic firing line.
Sure, the
like it.
camera's not picking that up.
No, it's not at all. But you know what's interesting? We had a poll on both Discord and Facebook to see if we would kill the news,
And
it was a tie.
oh, okay. Well, let's ask the peanut gallery. Should we kill the news, guys?
Yes!
No,
Okay. Well, that's the general consensus.
no.
I saw a comment actually on the Facebook that said they still want the news, but they want less GW news.
Oh,
Everyone
GW.
says that, I think.
Everyone less GW.
Suggestion,
Yes.
let's not kill it if Sooch shares the royalties he's getting from Games Workshop.
Oh, okay.
So, Sooch, do you have any news for us today?
I do, and now I feel like I can't start with Games Workshop.
Well,
Can't
are you
even
going to start with
include
Games Workshop?
I kind of want to just to like stick it to
All
everybody.
right,
I'm with you on that, 100%.
Start with Games Workshop. Here's
All right,
the news.
here is a big announcement for GW. Even though it's not super interesting, it is still informative. The deal with Amazon.
That's like the tagline for the news.
There's your soundbite.
Yeah. It's not interesting.
It's
but
not interesting,
It's
but-
somewhat informative.
They have announced that they've signed the contracts with Amazon. Henry Cavill is locked in.
I heard about that, actually.
They are moving forward with the Warhammer TV show.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
what's
gonna
the
be cool.
first show they're going to do?
They haven't said anything interesting.
It's
Not
about
when
the-
it's going to be there.
It's an Inquisitor show.
It's an Inquisitor. That's all that's been said so far. Henry Cavill's going to be the lead. That's all we know. Is something Inquisitor, something
What's
Henry
he famous
Cavill.
for? What this Henry person?
He's the Superman.
Superman.
He's like the edgy
He's the
Superman.
Witcher.
Oh, he was a Witcher. Well, he's more Superman than Witcher.
I don't know. Some people would argue with you on that.
Well, he's the edgy Superman, the one that people have really kind of liked,
'Cause
maybe
he was
liked.
cute.
Was there an edgy Superman?
Yeah, he's edgy
I
Superman.
don't think I've seen a single Superman movie in 20 years.
Well,
He was Zack Snyder's Superman. That's what he was, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah. I know
okay.
Zack Snyder. And then they edited out his mustache in that one
No way.
one scene in the Superman movie, and it became an internet meme because it looked really bad. It had a CGI mouth on him.
I'm not sure that we have a co-host today who's manning the Starship Enterprise.
Oh.
And that's Big Mike.
Big Mike, yeah. Big
Mike,
Mike
introduce
on the
yourself before the
Hey
news.
everybody, how you doing? It's Big Mike in the house.
That was good, Mike.
That's very good.
Very.
I've been practicing that all day.
Yeah, you can tell.
You know what's happening, though? It's you see how this is working out. Like, we have the Sooch here and Big Mike. It's like, I don't know, are we auditioning Big Mike?
Oh, shit.
Oh.
So, Big Mike, do you have any news for us today?
Oh, well, I guess
That's perfect.
I guess the Sooch keeps his
Perfect.
job. So, Sooch, what else you got?
All right, let's talk about, because this is the new hotness in the store, everywhere. Legion Imperialis. Everyone's playing the
Do you
tiny
think
little
that's the new
monsters.
hotness, or is
It is for him.
Lorcana
It
the new
is.
hotness?
It is for a hot minute, and then, then it'll be the next
what
thing.
you said.
Yeah.
Lorcana is the
Oh,
new
God.
hotness.
That is the new hotness. And nobody knows more about Lorcana than Big Mike.
Than Big Mike, who almost bought the card box set at Gen Con for how
I
much?
thought we were going to talk about that.
Oh my God! Yeah, they probably
all
gouging.
Big Mike had to see was that beautiful blonde, and he said, $460 for a box of Lorcana?
I'm in.
I'm in. Well, can I get two? And then we sort of made him return it. But everybody's heard that story.
Yeah.
But Big Mike, I think you're the one that got us into Lorcana, right?
Yeah, yep, it was fun. It's a good game.
Now, Father Time didn't want to play, right?
Oh yeah.
And what happened to Father Time?
Oh, he's hooked now.
Yeah,
That might be.
yeah. I think
That might
you
be
are.
playing. I may have bought some cards online.
Yeah.
And then I was like, why am I buying cards online? The store's got cards that I'm probably
Did you buy
buying
some cards online?
Maybe I did.
Singles?
Maybe.
Oh,
He's got the bug.
it's bad. It's bad.
I gave it to my kids for Christmas. They loved it.
Yeah, it's a good game, dude.
They didn't want to love it.
No,
but
I
they
know,
loved
I
it.
know. But here
That's
we
how
are.
everyone starts with it, though. But it's so much fun. Nothing better than seeing grown adults playing Disney games.
What are they playing back there? Magic?
They're playing Magic, yeah. It's different. It's for adults. Kind of for kids.
So what is Lorcana and how does it play? Is it like Mickey Mouse? Like
So,
nice,
aren't you
like,
the guys supposed
like,
to deliver the news? You don't know what the hell Lorcana is?
I refuse to interact with Disney products.
Oh, if it was GW, he would know.
It was
You know what?
GW.
If they were really little miniature cards, he would love it then. He'd be like, oh, it's another miniature.
Well, tell me, is Mickey Mouse like knife fighting Pocahontas or
No,
something?
there's no killing.
There's no
No,
killing.
that wouldn't be
No,
nice.
you banish people to their.
Why would
What do
we
you
kill
banish them to?
people?
The inkwell or something.
Challenge and banish.
I think Mike should tell us what this game's all about because he knows the terminology.
Do it close to the mic.
Yeah, get
So-
closer to the mic, Mike.
The game is about basically you're trying to collect enough lore to win, and it's collecting 20 lore is what you need to win the game. So it uses a lot of the elements of Magic, but it kind of replaces them and makes them more Disney friendly. So instead of trying to kill the player with a 20 life, you're trying to gain 20 lore. On top of that, the idea is that you are bringing these characters to life via ink. So instead of the characters having summoning sickness, they have the paint hasn't dried yet on the characters, so they're still wet. They haven't dried yet. And instead of having mana, you have an inkwell, which is what you use to draw up these characters. So it's very Disney-like. It has the same idea as kind of Magic, where you're, again, using your resources to bring in characters, to bring in items, to cast, instead of spells, you're casting songs, which Father Time is a great singer.
Sing us a Disney song all the time. Any Disney song.
A whole new world.
He's good. All right, come on, everybody. He's good.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks,
A
guys.
Whole New World by Father Time.
Thanks, guys.
Wow, that's
Thank you.
incredible. So what is your deck that you're building right now?
The deck I'm building right now is a yellow and purple deck, and the idea is it's trying to gain as much lore as possible, and it's using an element in the game called bodyguards, an ability to be able to block people from challenging me.
Pretty good.
So that I can continue to increase the lore, kind of win the race. So if my opponent is busy worrying about my lore, he has no time to build up his board and try to gain enough lore. So it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I can't wait till Sooch starts playing with us, and that's what I'm waiting for. Actually,
Yeah, Sooch, are you going to play with us?
What are the decks? Are they like characters, or are they like more
No.
color based? Like in
color-
Magic? Color based.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, color based.
So you have your red, which is kind of an aggro deck. You have your blue that has some control elements. You have steel, which has a lot of board control. So I mean, same idea as Magic. It's just you're doing it with Disney characters, but you're making fun of it all at the same time. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
That is a fact.
That is a fact. You are having fun at the expense of the Disney characters.
Yes.
And Father Time, you were originally playing an Emerald Steel.
No, red and green. I was
Red and green. So that would be Ruby Emerald, right?
right. Yes, I'm still playing. Ruby.
You digging how I know these things now?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
you,
So good.
you know the
I
game.
don't remember it.
Let me tell you, Lord Mortis went online and basically bought everything for the
I'm
first
pretty
time.
Not
sure he
true.
did.
Not
Everything.
true at all.
He came in the next day. He had a mat. He had sleeves.
I
He
know.
had
did.
everything.
I saw
I
it.
know. It's all about the accoutrements, right? It's all about the goodies that you add to the game. Because I'm never going to win more than a couple of
doodads.
games. The doodaddies. Yeah. So you have
No sleeves.
red and green.
Yes, I do have red and green.
Yeah, and you don't ever put sleeves in your cards,
Correct.
which drives everyone else insane.
Yes.
Oh man, it's like you put in $30-$40 cards and they're like sleeveless, bareback. Bareback is what they call it.
Picking
that-
his teeth
Yeah.
with them is just hard.
Sometimes rubber band to hold them together.
Oh bad. So you got your family into it over the holidays.
I did. I gave
Big hit?
Ellen and Jeff decks, and they both loved it. I'm shocked. You know how skittish I was because it was
I
actually
know.
Christmas Eve. I was here in the store, and I'm like, I'm going to buy these decks. I don't know how they're going to go over, but they went over big.
Yeah. No, it's a fun game. I think I'm playing. So I was building a similar deck. Mike's deck is much better than mine, of course, because he's just a better gamer all around. So we had a few fun games, and then I went home and I started building a Ruby purple deck. So it's Amethyst Ruby, right? So it's lots of Smash.
I don't like these
and fast
gemstone
lore.
colors.
Yeah, they're pretty
can't
good.
figure it out.
So I don't have the red portion of it yet, but I'm working on it. I'm working on that. Sooch, bring us back to the boring news.
All right. Who has played Legion Imperialis so far? I know Mike has his stuff.
Yeah,
I've got
so
some
you-
stuff.
Yeah, you painted up some stuff for me. Which
bought a
you
box
did an
set.
excellent job.
Yeah, thanks, man. I've actually had a really, really fun time. So painting-wise, to tangent a bit, I've been doing a lot of Legion Imperialis and the Taino models, and it's been really fun going back and forth between them. Taino giving you a lot more earth tones, a lot more realistic colors, and then...
They look great, by the way, Sooch.
Thank you very much. And then with the Legion Imperialis stuff, I'm like trying to go like bright and crazy colors. Mike's stuff was darker because he did Raven Guard, but for Jason, I'm doing Blood Angels, and I'm doing them yellow and red
Oh, cool.
to make it like bright and crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So you're painting 2 armies for other people?
Oh, yeah, that's kind of what I offered. Because for Legion Imperialis, I said, Jason, if you buy the box, I will paint everything.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then I put the line out there for others that wanted to get their stuff up and ready quick. So I'm churning stuff out like a machine
Nice. Good for you.
so that people can get started. Because I know Eric wants to run something at the store.
Yep.
I know that there's people
Starting
want to
a
play.
map campaign or something.
Yeah,
right?
and people want their armies painted. So I kind of threw myself on the fire, and I was like, I'll do it.
I'm afraid that Father Time and I are not going to join this. We just have too many other
I wasn't
things.
paying attention. What is it?
Imperialis.
The little tiny figures. He doesn't
I
like
mean, I
little
bought the
tiny
box of it. I donated it to the store.
Smart.
Yeah, because I'm not. It's unrealistic to think I'm going to have the time. I need to finish my Incas because people are slagging me over.
That
the
game will
Incas.
make you blind anyway. Trying
Yeah,
to put
that's
those
true.
things. I started trying, and then I was like, Sooch,
You need
please.
young eyes like the Sooch here.
Some of them are a little nightmarish. The rocket launcher Marines, you actually have to glue the arm on,
Yeah,
and
not
it's
gonna
super tiny, and it is a pain.
All my Marines would have no rocket launchers. What other interesting news might you have?
All right, let's jump off GW. Talk about some other things.
Okay, all right, here we go.
All right, let's talk about Magic the Gathering.
Oh.
Topical because they're playing it in the corner over there. their next Worlds Apart release, big one, is they're getting the Fallout license.
Yeah. Did we put out a pre-order in for that there?
Yeah.
Big Mike? We did.
Yep.
So that's a post-apocalyptic sci-fi.
Are you guys going to buy the next release?
Of what?
Magic: The Gathering.
6 of them. Which one is it?
Fallout.
No.
No? I don't
Oh,
care
well,
about
all right.
Fallout.
Fans? I'm not a
See
Fallout.
how- notice
I
how-
played Fallout 1 back in the day.
That was, I think that came out was like early to mid 90s.
I am thinking about buying the Tomb Raider Secret Lair. He's buying it strictly for the art. Yeah, just the article.
Just gonna
For the article.
so Matt's gonna be fielding some Lara
Well,
Croft soon.
that was a bad focus group. Obviously, Fallout is not a
Obviously.
big.
You notice how Brian Heineman didn't chime in though. He's
No.
like, because he's like, yes,
yeah, he's
yes, I
buying
am
it.
going to
Yeah.
buy them. Yeah.
Dr. Heineman, are you buying Fallout?
No, I will not be buying Fallout.
Oh,
No,
wow. That's a bad focus group. We should probably not buy any of it.
well, for
Those guys are
Fallout's-
heavy on Magic.
I know.
It's had an interesting trajectory. It
Such,
started
that was yet another failure, Sooch.
no, but I'm saying Fallout started as like an old boomer game, right? The
that
first
right?
first one came out in I think 95 or 96. Second one came out in 97. And they were like old school PC games. And then the series went dormant for a while. There were some spin-offs, but then it didn't come back until 2008 when it came back as like a modern video game, and it's like younger people.
Such, I have
kinda-
news for you. Nobody cares.
Yeah, it's
What's
true.
next?
That's true.
Yeah.
No more news.
No
News
more-
is done.
No, we're talking about Green Ronin Publishing.
Oh, what's that? That
They
sounds
are
interesting.
a RPG company. They've been around for a while. They did a lot of
Green
3.5.
Ronin?
Yes, Green Ronin Publishing. They've done a lot of 3.5 stuff. Recently, they have announced their new project, Valiant, which is going to bring back the Mutants and Masterminds rule set with a
What
new
does
coat
that
of
sound
paint.
familiar? What does that sound familiar?
Game.
Mutants and Masterminds was
game?
a no
A board game.
Mutants and Masterminds was I think early to mid 2000s superhero RPG rule set that was almost kind of like World of Darkness. It was kind of early, easy to jump into, easy to gen a hero, and it was I'm trying to think of the word licensed as agnostic, so you could create a hero if you wanted to create something that looked like a DC hero or a Marvel hero or any of the more obscure stuff. You could do that.
Okay.
It was a generic kind of superhero role playing.
So that's coming back?
That is coming back,
All right.
and it is going to be hitting Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. All
Yes,
right, all
in
right.
January.
Talk about Kickstarters.
Yeah.
What's this? Oh, can you see it? What's
If
this?
only we had the designers of this game who could talk about it. Oh, well, they're all back
they're all
there.
here. So they're gonna join us soon and give us some information about this. If they're not completely drunk, we can ask them. Some, if they're still coherent, we will bring them on and ask them some questions. What other news do you have, Sooch?
All right, let's talk about Infinity by Paizo Publishing.
Oh, Paizo. We're back to Paizo. We love Paizo,
Yes.
don't we? Do
We
we
have-
love Paizo? Do we care about Paizo?
They're
I guess
around.
we like Paizo.
They're
Yeah, we
around.
like Paizo.
They got their plastics they're doing
I don't
now.
know. Mike, you groaned over there. You don't care about Paizo?
Not really.
No, he doesn't care about
No,
Paizo.
okay.
They're doing a new set of miniatures, the Zuyong Invincibles. They are a set of
Do they make miniatures?
yeah,
Oh, pre-painted stuff.
Asian-styled stuff. Probably going to
Okay,
be their new
all right.
plastic.
That's good.
And I feel like everyone's eager to move forward.
No, Sooch, what were you doing in the bank? Were you depositing millions of dollars into your bank account?
I was actually investing.
Whoa.
Starting off investing.
Oh, you started your own investment account?
No. Well, yeah. Right now we started off with
I can't believe
like
he's
a,
actually giving us details.
Honestly.
Give us one stock tip. What was one of the big stocks that you...
I'm starting off with just a bank CD because the interest rate is pretty good right now. It's 4.6.
Should we have a new financial segment in our podcast?
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Rip out the news. and-
Yeah,
Just
that's-
financial
all right.
advice.
So you're starting your own CD accounts.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes.
That's a good thing to do.
I have to
as a
do
young
something
person.
something responsible for once. So
If you ever get married and have kids, then that's good. That's a good way to start your future, man.
yeah, there's some other stuff I talked to them about. I'm actually gonna have my car loan paid off this year in a couple months actually. So we talked about that. And we
Sooch
talked
is
about
a
some other
catch.
stuff that's
If there are
going on.
any ladies out there listening,
Smart.
this is a kid that's doing well. He's got a great job. He's sort of good looking, and he's got money in the bank. So there you have it.
Yeah, I don't have any painful debt, thankfully. 'Cause I know a lot of people. I know.
Smart.
are
Well done for a
struggling
young
with some stuff
person.
like that.
That's a good thing to do. All right, Sooch, what else do you have in the news?
All right, I think we talked a little bit about
20
this.
minutes into this, we're actually doing pretty well.
I think that's it. That's it for the news.
That's it for the
Excellent.
news. I mean, I have some other
no
stuff.
Big news. No big
Oh,
news.
we have a slew of people that we
have
could
some
be interviewing.
There
Yeah,
could
that's
be.
right.
There could be. But there are going to be some new Age of Sigmar models, Cities of Sigmar,
Yeah.
and we are awaiting the new Old World.
Old
Which
world.
again,
Yeah, me
There's
too.
buzz.
They released the
There is
pictures
buzz.
of the Bretonians, and
Yep.
it looks like the same old Bretonians.
Nice.
Right, which is great. I guess I have a ton of those, so I don't have to pick any of those up. I think the hero might be a new model.
That would make sense, actually.
Yeah, and
then the
the
Khemri.
the Tomb Kings have a bunch of old models and a couple of new models.
I sold
They
my
look
Khemri.
great.
Dang it.
Tempting, right?
Yeah.
some really cool stuff. I don't know if you saw like the City of Sigmar. They have like a cannon shield wall. It's almost like a little barricade that you
Yeah,
feel.
looks pretty cool. All right, Sooch, that was pretty good. Pretty good.
It was good. It was good because it was short.
Thank
All right,
you for
let's
the news,
bring in
Sooch.
people. We
Who
need
are
to
we
bring
gonna-
in
who's
Matt.
the first
we need
person
to bring
we're
in
bringing
Matt
in?
and talk about that Player's Handbook Preview Edition.
Okay, so I am going to. We're going to introduce the Dr. Hall.
Oh, Dr. Hall. Come on
Paging
over.
Dr. Hall. Paging Dr. Hall. Oh, Dr. Hall.
No,
Grab
go over there.
over there. You're coming this way, Dr. Hall. And you're going to sit by the mic, next to Mike. So everybody, a round of applause for Dr. Hall.
Yay.
Dr. Hall.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Hall is Dr. Hall is going to take us through this thing here.
Oh, so introducing the preview edition of our Heroes of Mythic Americas RPG.
But
Handbook.
Matt, that's so small. That can't possibly be the entire book.
And that cover is so ugly that couldn't possibly be the actual
No,
book.
this
it?
is. So what this is we're starting our in-store campaign with the design team, and so we needed to make sure they got the players, the character options for the game. So that's
understand.
all that's in here. However, I will say 67 pages just of character options
Right.
without pictures.
No formatting, no illustrations.
No formatting, no
this
illustrations.
is just raw data for us
This
to be able
is
to play the
what
game,
I
right?
did, having a cup of coffee in the morning to get us ready for our game. So it will be much more impressive and sexier looking than this. But this is sort of exciting.
Yeah, content-wise,
Yeah.
that's accurate, and we'll be using that to set up our characters for the campaign, which
Yes.
is exciting. Which will be starting after tonight, since we finish our campaign tonight.
Yes, in January with our ungodly large party
Yeah.
at our table.
That's a fact.
I think we have like 9 players. But we'll make it work, and it will be fun, and there will be antics to share.
And who's running the campaign?
Somehow I pulled the short straw on that one, and
Nice,
I'll
nice.
be running the campaign.
So you have some clever ideas for the campaign?
I have it planned out extensively, so I have pretty much outlined the entire campaign.
What's the actual start date? Do we have it?
Second Friday in January?
Nice.
Which
I'm excited.
I don't remember the date. Maybe the
I think it's
11th.
the 12th.
12th.
So is everyone bringing a painted model?
I would say that everyone is encouraged to bring a painted model. One of our players, a good friend of ours since I've known since college, has never once ever brought a painted model.
I'm sure he's brought painted models. He just hasn't painted his own model.
He hasn't painted his own models,
Yeah.
and sometimes he has a dice. So if somebody wants to paint a model for this individual, that would probably be.
Does this individual have a name? I mean,
It's Pete.
It's Pete.
Oh, it's Pete.
It's Pete. I
Okay.
was trying not to call Pete out.
Oh no!
But
Come on, that's what this podcast is all about.
Yeah.
All right.
He would never hear this.
No, he's not going to hear it. Okay. Maybe what we should also ask all of the designers is what character,
Oh.
right? They're bringing
That's,
with
that's
them.
an excellent point.
Really? Come on, give it, Lord Mortis. Nice job.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay. All right.
So I'm not playing any character. I'm the dungeon master.
Right. The dungeon master does not have a character.
Don't
Well, I have a
play-
character.
I play all of the characters except the player characters.
He's got a point.
That's
actually.
that is good. That's true. That's true. So what are you doing, Father? Tom?
Well, I will be playing the Inuit whale hunter.
Nice.
Do you know why I would be playing
don't
the
know.
Inuit whale hunter? Anyone? Sooch?
I know.
Inuit whale hunting because you want to throw the harpoon.
Well, that's one reason, but not the main reason. The main reason is because I get my trusty, familiar, what is
Companion.
it? Companion, which is a
Which
muskox.
A spiritual muskox.
Oh, or
Can
only
you
mock.
ride it like cavalry?
I
Yes.
can do whatever
Oh,
I want
man.
with it.
Yeah.
Throwing a harpoon from the
He
back
could be
of
a
the
mounted
muskox.
ranger, harpoon-wielding ranger on a spiritual muskox, which is just super awesome.
So then, yeah, I think most people know that I'm partial to the Oming Mach in the game. So
And those listeners who have paid careful attention to the materials that we've released,
I don't think there are any.
no, I trust that there are.
Okay.
There was a concept sketch for the cover featuring Camazotz looming over an underground Aztec pyramid or Mayan pyramid of some type, right? And bravely facing Camazotz in that picture
Is
a whale hunter
Oh, yeah.
with his trusty muskox companion
In the background.
in the background, which
That is
is
fact.
which was specifically designed with Father Time in mind.
I have clout.
I'm glad you picked that one.
That's true. Lord Mortis, what are you picking?
It's definitely going to be Chachapoya.
Yes.
And I thought it was going to be a lowland.
River Scout?
Yep.
It is the Lowland River Scout. I'm glad you prepared for the podcast.
Yeah, I totally
And no,
prepared. Well, because I was actually thinking about a Highland curandero kind of character, but I think lowland it would be cool because is anyone playing an Inca at all?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
Priest, everyone's been represented.
Yes, Dr. Brutus is playing an Inca. Inti Priest.
I'm looking forward to this. I think I'm going to be. I'm going to have to proxy though, because I don't think we have a Chachapoya design yet for that particular
good
model.
point.
So I think I'm going to proxy one of the Taino.
It's a good choice.
Yeah, because it'll be close, and I could just tailor.
You know what you could do is we could print off one of the Taino and you can cut off the archer bits and put a blowgun in.
It's a good idea. Yeah, and add some feathers and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm very excited about this.
I would suggest that if anybody had the clout and influence to get a model produced rapidly
Yeah,
of a Lowland River Scout,
it would not be me.
no, it would absolutely be you.
Well, I still have. So the sculptor is teed up for all the Chachapoya stuff. We have, as we discussed in the last podcast, we have all the models that are designed for the Taino. You guys are going to start shipping Taino next week.
Yes, we are.
So I was hoping to kind of interrupt one of our sculptors to do a Chachapoya design, but it's just there's so much stuff in the design queue that I don't want to interrupt him and then kind of throw him for a loop.
Fair.
So that character archetype that you have selected is really fun because it is a blowgun sneak attack specialist, which is just awesome.
That's
something
cool.
that I've always wished was in Dungeons and Dragons, and it's not. And now we were able to inject that, and it's just so cool.
It's going to be interesting because I usually play some kind of barbarian, mindless.
Me this time.
So I need to not play him that way because I'll end up dying very quickly.
Yep, you need to be much more stealthy and leave the barbarian raging to B
Yep.
Tims.
Yep. That B Tims is going to be the barbarian this time. It's okay. I think I can. B Tims knows what he's doing too. So on the D&D front. So I think I can learn from the masters because you guys have been playing D&D as an organized group for many years, right?
Many years.
Yeah. So this will be fantastic. Sooch, you have a character?
For this, if I was to play a character, I'd want to do it again because my love of Diablo 2 as a Aztec high priest who just summons a whole bunch of undead.
So how would that? So guide the Sooch. This is a good example of someone who's just stepping into this campaign. So if that's what he wants to play, what would you recommend that he would play?
Well, it's not even really a recommendation. There is an archetype that is exactly what he's talking about, which is the cleric Tlaylock domain, which is a cleric that can summon Tlaylock and Bound Dead and Tlaylock and Marauders and powerful undead to serve as their entourage while they, roam the world and
Look at that, Sooch. It's almost like they listened to you.
Executing
They actually
Laylock's
created something for
will.
you. That's
you go.
awesome. You should have a model painted for that already.
Yeah, I already do. I have an Aztec High Priest already painted.
Now, are we going to play with scenery on the table, or are we going to play on a map? Like,
So I think we'll probably do a mix of both. I've been experimenting with some maps, and I have a new mapping program that So one of the challenges as Dungeon Master of Heroes of Mythic Americas is most of the maps and terrain that exists out there in the world is a sort of European fantasy
yeah,
type of thing.
that is so true. Even the dungeons.
But I have a new piece of software that I'm going to be experimenting with that allows you to input STL files into and then print them as part of the map, like
Ooh.
Olmec statues and
That's awesome.
Aztec and Inca glyphs and things like that. So I will be doing some experimentation, and hopefully we'll have some maps that that look cool and are perfect. And if that works out, what I can do is share maybe an article with our community who's looking forward to playing Heroes of Mythic Americas when it comes out for real.
Are you? This is a loaded question, but Father Time, are you going to be sharing this kind of working document with the folks who did the Kickstarter?
That is a loaded question since
Yes.
we only today thought about it. But yes, I think what we're going to do is to try and get that PDF and share it with the backers,
Yep.
just to keep them engrossed in
As
our
an update.
updates. Yep.
Well,
And
give
then-
them a taste of what we've been working on, because it is too exciting, really. I mean, it's done. It's just mostly waiting on formatting and art and things like that,
Yeah.
which takes time to get it right. But we're sort of excited about getting this into people's hands and let them start playing around
So-
with it.
Exactly.
Maybe Father Time, one of the things to do is share a couple of the actual design pages so that people don't think we're full of crap, which we are full of crap. But,
Well, we don't
you
want
know,
to share that.
But we don't want to share the fact that we're full of crap. No, but I mean, because I know that we have lots of pages fully designed for
Yes.
the book. So maybe share a couple of those so they can see where it's going from a design point of view.
That's a great
And then
idea, Lord
This
Mortis.
raw document, which is really just for
Text.
the purposes of it's just text for people to use to build their characters.
And this is probably seeing as how this is episode 100, and I'm not always on here. And Father Time is always on here.
It's only because Father Time doesn't want you on here all the time.
That is not true.
Well,
true.
it's an
So true.
opportunity for me to apologize to him,
oh,
because he's been
Whoa.
fielding
Oh.
some of the stress around the fact that this is not out. And some of that is my fault and the fault of Dr. Brutus and Mikey D, where basically what we've done is
Mikey
we
D
had
got
a
thrown out of the
scope
bus.
of the
There goes the bus.
Heroes of Mythic Americas book that was outlined, and then sort of we weren't supervised probably as much as we needed to be.
By the
and we
time.
wrote about twice as much as we had scoped initially, and he has been scrambling to try to manage putting this all into the book and getting all the art assets and that kind of thing. And so for our backers, it will turn into a boon for them. But I recognize and I apologize to Father Time for dropping this on him. And I can only appeal to his mercy and say that it's because we just got
you have
super
any mercy,
excited
Father
about
Time?
this, and we can't be
have none.
trusted if we're not supervised. So in some ways, it is his fault.
So I mean, honestly, everything that Matt has said is true.
Yes.
But if there was a reason why people would want to be patient and wait for what's coming, is because it's bigger and better than what we initially projected.
I mean,
So,
this
I think
isn't
that's
even
great.
half the book.
That's not even
and
half
it's
of it.
67 pages
I
long.
know. It's definitely.
And there's no art in it.
There's
For
no-
the guys who have to come up with the funding for this printing and stuff, Father Time and I and Big Mike, we have to kind of figure out how to make it all happen. It's a bit of a nightmare, but because we got certain funding to do a certain number of pages, and then these guys go away and they come back and like, well, I think it's like 3 times bigger than what we thought.
Well,
But at the end of the day, it helps fulfill the mission that we've been on for a few years now. What we really want to do with the game and explore these worlds, and the more information we can get out to people, the better. You know, we've apologized 1,000 times because when people experience Mythic Americas, they're really working with a company of designers. Most of us are in this room.
Yep.
And instead of a living rule book, we have like a living design studio that just sort of shares a lot of information that most studios don't share with other people. And we're pretty open. Oh, boy, here we go. We're pretty open about the things that we're
They're
doing.
gonna eat all the good pizza.
He's going to eat. I know. We're going to get all the leftovers, cold pizza.
Now,
But,
the other good thing for our fans
Yeah.
is some of the things that have been cut from the book, just because even as much as we've doubled what was expected, there are still things that got cut. That there's a lot that can go into other projects in the future, in which I fully plan to take advantage of with our own campaign, our in-studio campaign.
That'll be
Agreed.
awesome. And one of the reasons we're doing this video setup, thanks to Big Mike. Big Mike,
Yay.
yay! Next one we'll be streaming, but we couldn't get to that aspect of this today. It's because we're going to be videotaping our sessions. So everybody needs to be in their very best behavior.
Or we need some type of a plan around that.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll
So-
work out perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
So
just
that
like
we don't
this.
get canceled
That just means
immediately.
I have to do a lot of editing.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It won't be a streaming thing that we're doing because then that's impossible for us to figure out.
Actually, Big Mike, do you know what character you're playing?
It would definitely be Taino. Just maybe a Taino scout or something like that.
Which one is it? Do you remember? We assigned one to Mike. Actually, we assigned to both Mikes the Taino. Mikey is the Taino bard.
Yep.
What's the other
It's
Taino?
a Kurandaro.
Kurandaro.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, I have
No,
some
not
models.
for a Taino. Kurandaro is
Oh no,
Chachapoya.
I'm thinking Chachapoya. No, we have the Paladin, the Oath of Community Paladin.
That's it.
Oh, yeah,
You're playing
yeah.
a paladin, Mike.
There you go.
There you go.
That's good, actually.
That is good.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of painted Taino models, and I'll have more done actually by mid-January.
There you go.
So there'll be quite the selection to choose from.
You think you'll have the full force done by mid-January?
Honestly, I probably could. If I sat down after I get the
If you
Imperial stuff and
stop
get done,
painting
I would.
those silly, tiny little robots, you might actually
No,
finish
it's
the
not.
important stuff.
It's little tiny space marines now.
Well, I won't reveal anything now, but you will not be starting in the land of the Taino.
Oh,
Okay, where
but they're islands.
That is much, much too wonderful and beautiful a place. for
Coconuts
this-
and palm
this
trees,
party to start. You will
beach.
be starting in a place much more horrible than that.
Ooh,
Oh.
I like it. You're not going to tell us where that is?
I'm not.
All right.
It's not New Jersey either. but equally terrible.
So this this book that you handed out today, right? This is going to help us put our characters together. Is that what this?
This is
the
going to
goal
help
of
us
this?
put our characters together and reference the abilities of your characters, spells, feats, those types of things. So this will be used in addition to the regular 5th edition Player's Handbook.
Right.
And we will be starting at 3rd level because that's where you really start to get the flavor of the archetypes and where it will feel like the world of Mythic Earth versus, some other Dungeons and Dragons world.
So start building now.
Yeah,
So
pretty
we're gonna
awesome.
start building. So the only restrictions, you've all picked your archetypes. So your only other restriction you have is we will all be playing as Children of the Way, which is a new lineage in here. So not an elf or a bugbear or a gnome or a human, but a child of the way.
And just using this booklet and the regular D&D player's guide, right? Handbook, you'll be able to build your character.
Absolutely.
You just won't have any other background in the cities, and because that's all in the rule book that you will get.
There are backgrounds right in here
Oh, there are.
that
Okay.
are world specific.
Okay, cool. So you'll actually have a flavor for the characters that you're building.
And
Nice.
we will be starting somewhere in Mythic Earth
Okay.
that is equally terrible to parts of New Jersey. That's the only hint you're getting.
All right. That's fine. So, I think, are we done with Matt, right?
Yeah. We need to pull somebody else in. Quick.
All right.
Yeah, good job.
All right,
Oh,
thank-
nice job.
Thanks for having me on Mythicast
No,
100.
we'll have you back on. We'll have you back on.
100.
By the time, should
200.
we vote on the next guest, or is this like dictatorship where it's chosen?
I think suggesting that just brought you down a little bit on the scale of likability.
No voting.
No voting.
Wait, who are you
Oh,
voting
yeah.
for?
Put him on the spot, will you?
I want Mike. I vote for Mike.
Oh, Mikey D.
Mikey,
Yeah, Mikey
D.
D.
Oh, well. You went up
Mikey's
on that
eating, though.
scale and went
Mike's
way down
finishing
with
off
Dr.
the
Love. Mikey D, you ready?
Everybody's
Broccoli
eating.
Rob pizza.
Oh, nice. Mikey D, here we go.
Yay.
Mikey D. Mikey D, what do you actually do around here? What's your role?
Not a whole lot, but on the RPG, I've been working on the monsters.
Okay.
I've completed the monsters actually, so those are all ready to go.
You completed all the monsters.
Yep. Yep, all the monsters. That was a fun little challenge.
How many were
try
there?
to bring 50.
Wow.
That's it? 50 monsters?
53, 54, somewhere in there.
So there are 50 monsters in the
Book.
Heroes of Mythic Americas book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
we
pretty
took
awesome.
every monster that was in the Mythic Americas game, including the unreleased factions of the Taino and the Chachapoya. We took every monster from there, and then we added in, we sprinkled in a few other additional ones.
Well done. 50
Like what?
monsters.
Give me an additional one.
One of my the Solpakuro is probably my favorite one. It's a sort of between a lurker and a net. It's Solpakuro is a Chachapoya net where they would carry these whatever they were carrying on their backs. It was this big sort of like open weave net, and they had there was a mythology that there was a creature of the night that would come out and had like little biting mouths at all the little intersections of the net. So it was this everyday tool that they used that sort of came alive and terrorized the people.
Nice.
So it was fun, kind of bringing that to kind of go down the academic world to look at the legend of the Solpakuro and the Chachapoya people. And then to try to figure out how that fit? What challenge rating do we want to make it? Is this like particularly deadly or a little less deadly? And just kind of finding all of that the space for such a cryptid.
So what's the lowest level monster in the book?
I think we have a CR 1/8 or
And that is?
1/4. Oh, don't put me on the spot.
How
I don't
about
remember
the
off the top of my
highest level?
16.
Ooh, what is
Like a Camazotz?
A
or something?
Camazotz, yeah. I believe it's an essence of Camazotz. Because we can always go further. So this is, not the god itself.
God itself would have to be 20 at least, I would say.
Yeah, probably 30.
Yeah.
wow?
The Sooch. It's got to be 20. What?
I know my gods. I know my stats.
They're high.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a bunch of level 20 characters just
So we
to
don't have any
take down
level
a god.
20s right now. Just 16 is the highest.
Yeah. Yep.
It's plenty high for any of us.
No
Because we're
kidding.
starting at 3, right?
Trying to think what
Yeah.
would be a 1/8.
I mean, it's the equivalent of like a goblin.
Yeah.
Is
Alush?
right there. Yeah. Yeah. I think the Alush is actually the little elf on a shelf of the of this world.
That's pretty
Little
rough.
guardian spirit.
Huh. And so those are more likely the things you're going to encounter in the first.
Yeah, and they're in the early goings.
Yeah.
I mean, a challenge rating 3 would probably be appropriate for a party of 4.
3-level characters.
Oh, no.
No,
Matt's
no,
saying
Dungeon
no.
Masters.
Nope, our
Matt's
dungeon
saying
master
no.
is saying that he wants much more deadly encounters
Than that.
Okay, well that's gonna be a short campaign, but we'll get to
But
explore a
it'll
lot
be
of
fun.
a lot of other
Character options.
I won't even get to finish painting my character by the time. This is like,
paint a lot
all
of
right,
a
fast.
lot of different
paint
characters.
Paint fast. Okay. Then how many? So if you have 50 monsters, they're all in the book. All of these monsters are in the book, and they're all the descriptions and everything is in there.
Yeah,
Wow,
we're all ready to
that's
go.
pretty awesome.
We need
Description, stats.
The whole thing. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Yep. We're just finishing up the all the illustrations for each one because that's kind of a core part of any good monster manual is to kind of give a visual description as well as the text description.
I think we brought a page on Amarok or something, right?
Yep,
To
that's
Gen
correct.
Con?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
That's
That's
pretty awesome.
great. That was a great illustration.
How many
that
pages
Nick
do you
did.
think we're at now with this book? Guesstimate?
More than
than
200.
250.
250 maybe.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a lot.
Okay. Yeah, that jumped
Yeah,
quite a lot
it did.
from where we were. That's good though. That's what we want.
It will be.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's apologizing to me. Yeah, that's all right.
That's okay.
You know what?
That's all right.
We have to.
it's a lot to edit.
We have to go with the flow.
Yeah,
You know.
agreed.
And like I said, it's going to be big, and people are going to love it, and that's worth waiting for.
Yeah, I agree. But I think this is good too because it'll be great for people to start sinking their teeth into their character and,
Yep.
and into the world, and then that will be followed by the full PDF, so they'll be able to start running campaigns. It'll be fantastic.
Mike, what character are you going to play?
Right now, I'm planning on doing the Taino Bard.
Nice.
But I know that we have Old Man Eric is running the Aztec, one of the Aztecs. So if he can't make it regularly, I want to make sure that all the factions are being represented. So, but I mean, if Sooch, if you've got that held down, you're going to make it every second Friday of every month. Then we've got the Aztecs.
The Sooch can make it. We know he can make it.
All right, fantastic. Then, yeah,
Right,
then
Sooch?
the,
You gonna make it?
I'll be here.
all right,
there you go.
fantastic.
Just bigger party. Just
Yeah.
Make it bigger.
Yeah, because that's how D&D works.
It works best.
with much more people.
Yes.
What is the ideal size for a party in D&D?
4.
I would,
All right,
I would
so-
say between 4 and 6.
So we'll have 9? Yay! That's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect size. That's ideal for us.
That's the way we play.
All right, that sounds good. Fernando in this, do you think? No.
Do
Probably
we need a
not,
10?
right?
If we had 10, I would split it up into 2 games at that point.
That's
maybe
true.
2 DMs
Yeah.
and then.
Which I have an idea for.
Which our DM has an idea for.
There you go.
Closer to the mic. We have an idea.
He has an idea. All right.
All right, well.
Mike's like, "Oh, can I-"
Let's not get into the idea.
No, let's get. No. All right, so anything else that we have for Mikey D?
No.
Anything you want to share with us, Mikey D?
No, I think I'm good. Thank you.
Yes. All righty, then.
We can talk about. No, we can't talk about anything.
Talk anything
Is
else.
it
No.
time to choose the next person?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I want Timmerman.
Whoa.
Oh.
Beat Tim.
Beat Tim's. Here we go. Yay, beat Tim's. That's okay. We'll break it up because you can tell us what character you're playing.
Well, guys, how are you?
There he is.
Good,
Beat
there
Tim
Yay!
of the design staff.
Yeah.
So B Tim's is the kind of mastermind behind the points, right? And
From Mythic Earth,
Mythic Earth, but
Correct.
not the RPG.
he works very closely with you, Father
Yes,
Time,
he does.
when it comes to making sure
Sometimes
that.
a little too close.
Yes.
Oh boy,
We spend many hours at my home sitting
Late
around
night.
drinking lots of alcohol.
drinking and trying to figure out how to make the points stand with the flavor of the faction.
Because the way it works right now is some crazy folks like myself or the Sooch will send out, here's the units, here are the units, these are the points that we're thinking.
And some of the abilities and how they fight, which is really awesome to see.
Yep.
And then we got to figure out how to make that work in the table.
And then
Yes.
tone it down to make sure it's not overpowered or broken.
And what mechanics will support those ideas.
Yeah.
Right.
So you guys are all credit to the two of you because that is not an easy job, especially when you're looking at multiple factions, multiple units.
Making them different from each other so that they don't feel the same. But it's also a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
it's a lot of fun.
And you guys started out with an old formula, but now at this stage is your own sort of formula that you're using to point things
Yep.
appropriately. And then as part of that, when we get into Mythic Earth 2.0, where we're cleaning up some of the things and a little bit of the language here and there, you guys are going to be taking a look at the points again for all the units. Is that
Yeah,
the plan?
there's some things that didn't transfer over very well
Right.
from Warlords of Erewhon into Mythic Earth. Also, we have new formats for the stats, which are much more digestible, I
Yeah.
guess.
A lot more information at a glance versus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's kind of cool. That'll be nice to be able to release those as well. And that what are we looking at? Spring for all of that kind of cleanup.
Yeah, I really wanted to do it by year end, but there's no way we're going to make that. But yeah, it's on the
Yeah.
table.
Once we settle on exactly what we're looking for, it probably won't be too long to get everything to fit there. But looking forward to the Chechapoya and diving into what the team has done for the RPG, and so that we can put that on table
That's
too.
a good. I think actually that's a good point too that you guys are bringing up. We had a designer meeting, kind of a creative roundtable today, and then Eric, old man Eric, took us to task and said, "Oh, there's a lot of stuff that we talk about in the podcast, and we talk about releasing this and releasing that, and specific, and we discussed how on some of those we missed the mark, and at the end of the day, we have a really good, solid design team, very good at creating the materials, getting the materials out there, and as a young company, where we get stuck is when it comes to the funnel. It gets funneled into a smaller pool of resources, and then that is like some of the design teams, some of the computer folks, some of the actual people that are, because that's where budgets can get out of control, and that's when things slow down. So at the end of the day, when it comes to designing and putting the stuff together and really thinking of the game, the really important stuff, we're very good at that. And then we get a little slowed down when it comes to the resource heavy stuff, like the graphic design and the illustration and that kind of stuff. So the reason I say that is because a lot of the materials are done. And so when we said, oh, you wanted to get this stuff done by the end of the year, we just ran out of resources within the context of all the things that we're trying to do, right? And so we have to push stuff until we get to a certain size. Hopefully in the future we'll have less of that because we'll have more resources. But I think and I think people understand that. Our community understands that.
I believe that.
From on Discord and Facebook, they get that that's what's happening. And we're pretty open about sharing timelines. So you're thinking sometime early 2024 in the first quarter, we'll be able to get these cleaned up things out there.
Well, I think Taino are going to go out in the new format.
Okay. So that's great. So that's helpful. Yeah. And then it's a matter of just sort of reformatting the other forces that we have currently out there.
And we can make corrections because there are lots of comments that we get on the Discord of things that just don't make sense or maybe are a tad broken or underpointed, overpointed, whatever. And we're hoping to fix some of that too at the same time. It's living stats, living rule books, and that's the way we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And we wanted the community to have say in how we progress with this stuff.
That makes sense, and I think it's why the game has grown. I think we've done a lot of listening. We do take Oldman Eric is the guy who's in charge of taking all of this information and keeping it together, so that when we sit down and we review stuff. We can actually incorporate everybody's thinking into the rules that it's.
I have something to bring up in regards to rules, and Brian's super into working with the points and balancing things. So I've been thinking, because last podcast we talked a bit about the Aztecs and maybe potentially some new unit ideas. So I've been doing some research into the Tlaxcalteca, which is one of the larger tribes that fell under the Aztec Empire, and they were always known for being rebellious. The Tlaxcala warriors, looking up different art pieces, they have a very striking look, so that's what I kind of looked into representing on the field when I submit those rules to you guys. And I was thinking of maybe making them something like a high-risk, high-reward unit. Maybe having them be very powerful, very skilled, but having some kind of negative to represent the rebellious nature. So potentially maybe if your army doesn't start doing well or if they fail a brave test, there's an extra negative to go on top of that. And I was maybe trying to think of how that would interact without being too punishing, but still being something you have to be aware of when fielding them with your army.
Well, yeah, if they're rebellious, they probably don't benefit from the leaders' leadership and things like they're going to be independent units, I assume, right?
Yeah, something maybe they wouldn't be able to benefit from follow or from command or any of that other stuff that's baked into your leader. But then maybe something I was thinking also that ties into their bravery. Maybe if the fight doesn't go super well for them, or if there's a morale issue in your army, it's compounded by them. But on the other side, there are very, very talented, powerful warriors, because they weren't really just rank and file. They were very specialized. And one thing I know, probably nobody will see. But one thing that's common on the Warriors is this look of this banner they have built in, and I think it's super interesting to have these almost like
the
these-
standard.
the standard,
yeah.
That looked awesome.
Yeah,
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 and
these
that's
guys
something
with
we've
big
always wanted to do.
banners.
Have like standard bearers in the
Yeah.
various forces. This is actually how it kind of works. So we
It
all
is.
have a force that we're tasked with being the original designers for. For me, it's the Incas and the Chachapoya. Sooch, you've been working on the Aztecs with you, right? Brian?
Well, yeah, a little. Yes, we
Yeah.
worked together. It was primarily his ideas, and yes, we worked together.
Taino are you and you Father Time, and then
With you.
with myself, and then also with the actual Taino person
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
world.
Now that he came in, he
Now that he's
gives a
joined
stamp
us.
of approval.
Western Federation, Tribal Nations. That's really been
All Matt.
with Dr. Hall.
Inuit.
Is really
Brutus.
Dr. Hyman. Yeah, Brutus.
Yeah, I was the Maya.
You were doing you really created the Maya from the beginning.
Trying to
So
think of the other ones.
I think for us, our jobs are to stay connected to our forces, and then we do what the Sooch just literally did live.
Yeah.
And he brings it to the rest of the group, and we listen and we start thinking about some of the rules that are taking place. One of the things that we've introduced into this process is Old Man Eric will bring ideas from the community, because there are a lot of community members that have come up with ideas for units for the various forces, and then he'll bring them to us and then to you guys, really. If it's of a particular force, they'll bring it to, like, if it's an Inca idea, they'll bring it to me, and then we'll together bring it to you guys. And then that's how we start adding to this. Just so everybody knows, I mean, the past couple of years, and you've seen the design process, we've pumped out a lot of models just in the past 12
I
months.
think one thing you don't realize is how many factions are either didn't make the cut
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
are still on the design table.
Yeah.
There's
Because
a lot of them. A
there's-
lot of great
yeah.
ideas waiting their
Yep.
time.
Yep. And the timing is everything. So we're gonna sit, and some of it will be brought in with maybe a different Mythic Earth
Feature
area.
faction or something like
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's hard because we don't have the Games Workshop budgets of of-
Really?
or design. I mean, even those companies that size struggle to stay up with the design schedule,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
for us, we also have the added I don't want to call it stress, but the added consideration of the community is involved, and they send us rules, and they send us units, and they send us all kinds of stuff that we need to take into consideration. And that's something that we've been doing from the beginning. So this process is a little bit slow and painful. I know some folks comment, and everybody's been pretty cool about it.
Yeah.
But this is the process that we go through. It's a very living, creative process that is involved in creating these forces. If there's what are you working on? So from Brian, your kind of focus right now is the 2.0 pointing, the
Right.
Chachapoya.
Well, it was also make sure that the Taino was ready to go, which
Yeah.
it is.
It is
and-
now, right?
and-
So you guys are feeling good about those rules now?
Yes.
It's
I feel really
buttoned
good
up,
about it.
points-wise, we're good.
Played them several times. I don't think that there's been any negatives that I've seen out. Because you haven't heard anything, Mike. So I've used them very well, and I've really liked how they play.
And all the models are done, so it's not like there's no more model design.
Right.
aspect
So
to it.
next one I think table again is the Chachapoya, which we had some base of, but then we also want to see what the RPG team came up with some of the additional units too to kind of put that in too. So looking forward to seeing what they've got there, so we can add that in.
And so you guys are. I mean, that's a lot that you've accomplished.
Well,
this
and what
year.
you don't realize is that Brian and I are the main production guys too. I mean, we end
We
up
build, yeah.
building.
So we know
and
exactly how
packaging.
many models there
That's
are.
exactly right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it covers the gamut of all that fun, creative design and all the idiosyncrasies that go into pointing and the mechanics and all the tediousness of putting models into boxes and
Yeah, and
blisters.
I don't think listen, we have a big store, we have a design studio, we have a production facility that really is mostly run by Bill, And there's only about a dozen of us doing all of this stuff. And we have Lizzie in the background who does all of the fulfillment stuff. And then we have Nick who does all of the graphic design. We have Rob who does some of the illustrations and some of the actual models. We have a couple of sculptors. But, I mean, at best, we have 18 people working in this company doing all of this work. So I'm always blown away with how much stuff we've actually accomplished. So no, it's cool. So anything that you want to add to the community in episode 100 there, B. Tims?
Not that I can think of now.
Well, what character are you going to play in
what
the campaign?
characters? Well, I thought I was going to be the Mayan shapeshifter, but we gave that to
Pete.
Which is fine. So I elected to take the barbarian class for the clans, the name
Which is the Tribal Nations.
Tribal Nations.
Yeah, that's the barbarian class.
It's the clan of. Sorry, guys. The bear is it the clan of the bear.
No, clan of the defenders.
The defender of the bear. The barbarian class.
Longhouse Defender.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Longhouse Defender.
Clan
Clan
Defender.
Defender.
Yeah, Clan Defender.
Yep. So
We played with names on that one. But that is a barbarian that specializes in extra attacks and tomahawk.
yeah. So Brutus and I were already looking over. We were looking at at the case that we have in there, picking out our characters already. So
Smart.
chop off a weapon and swap it.
so
Brutus is leaving because
he knows he's next.
he knows who's next. Well, no, I mean it's this is all about Sooch making friends and enemies. So who's next on your friend and enemy list?
And Eric is here. So.
Well, I want.
Well, he's always been at odds with
Don't leave
Dr.
yet,
Brutus.
because we don't know. He might call you again, B. Tims.
No, I want other Brian. Heineman, get over here.
Oh, Dr. Heineman. Okay, yeah, get work on your
eating
voice.
pizza.
I'm just saying because when Eric gets in here, we're just going to talk about horror movies and do little things.
Oh, God. That's when we stopped the podcast. All right, here comes the Doctor of Love. Brutus, Dr. Heineman.
I like his
right.
Philly
Yay.
gear. Philly gear.
We have two doctors in the house.
Oh, we're heavy on doctors, light on prescriptions.
Yeah, that's true. No, we have prescriptions. Here we go.
Thanks,
Here.
sir.
We have our prescriptions. So,
Self-medicated.
So. Lead the way, sir.
Why am I leading the
Because
way?
you're the boss.
Well, if there was one person who ran the RPG from a project management perspective, it would be Dr. Brutus. And he and I have been chatting a lot lately because going into the editing process requires a lot of communication and filling holes or working with consistency and stuff like that.
Yeah, the more and more, as you go through it, more stuff comes up, right? Even this morning as we were talking, we're like, we should tweak this, tweak that. So, but came along really well. The project is
amazing.
It's shockingly good, if I don't say so myself.
So Doctor, you've really had a vision for this project from the beginning, since we discussed it, and you really kind of wrapped your head around it. I mean, because you've led the way. I mean, I think it's fair to say that you've been the herder of the cats. Well, Matt's been the creative force as well as Dr. Heineman.
Well, I mean, all the stuff we do here, right? Someone's got to just honcho it and just take charge a bit of the organizational stuff. So I think I did probably a good chunk of that for the book, but as far as the writing creativity goes, I mean, everyone kind of was pitching equally. But I didn't mind doing it. It was we stumbled across it when we were doing the tabletop. And we're just peeking around and saw some RPG things out there and went, wait a second. Our universe is perfect for, we wanted to play in it, right? We kind of wanted to play in it. So we're like, let's do it. And here we are. Now nothing to do but get the page layout ready and final edits and get this thing cranked out.
Yeah, the secret is that we have a Friday Night Fights group that has been in existence for decades, I believe. And I've been part of it for many years now. And you've been part of it. And, so we're on a monthly basis playing RPGs.
It's been a blast.
Yeah,
We've been playing,
it's so much fun.
We'll be playing immediately after this podcast.
I know.
I will likely kill the vast majority of it in a hail of gunfire. I mean, as we finish our last Shadowrun.
That could happen. But so it was a natural for us to want to get our universe on the table and play.
I feel good that this campaign it's not I who managed to kill everyone. I feel very good
Well, no,
about that.
you have on several occasions.
Oh, wait.
I would say I have to push back gently on you there.
Mikey,
Yeah, on several occasions
as
you have
soon as I
almost
said that,
killed
I guess
everyone.
We literally had to take steps.
I know. There's,
Yeah.
that
Well, we
is
note
true.
that they
That
have
is true.
disabled your firearm.
They do.
So, yeah,
They took
so-
my gun away.
Yeah.
They made my bullets into rubber bullets.
But see,
there are many ways of
I think,
controlling this.
I think
beast.
what makes Mythic Minis, the
Yeah.
company, special is that idea really was a glimmer last summer.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
I mean,
true.
and,
You're right.
and we were so excited about the idea of getting an RPG together that we just said, you know what? I know we have Taino. I know we have Chachapoy. I know we have all these plans, long-term plans, but this idea of putting an RPG out
Yep.
just fit too well for us to ignore it. And so, we did it. And being a small company, being flexible, and being creative-minded.
And basically being dogs with or squirrels with shiny objects.
Yes, well, there's a little of
is
that.
kind of how it works. But it's our company. Do whatever hell we want, right?
Right.
Yay! So, sorry. Go back to important stuff. So now you're feeling like when you look at the materials, because I got to say, I get to experience this. You and I are very much hands off. We could say the guy said we're going to do this, and we said okay, go, and we've not in any way, shape, or form modified, changed, or you guys are the leaders of this project, and you've taken it, run with it, and we've made no changes, right? When no changes, no input other than here's the background. This is what the world is like from our heads to you guys, and you've taken.
From a creative perspective, I think that's 100% true.
Right.
They ran with it. No one in our design team knows RPGs better than these guys.
No, why get involved?
So why would we mess with that? Now that we're on the editing table, now that we're in the formatting and stuff, well, yes, if I see
that's mechanical
something-
stuff, though. That's
but
not
there's
creative.
also things that where we'll say, I'll go, Brian, this is kind of inconsistent, or we're missing something. We need a description here, and then we go
there's
back.
There's always
and forth.
the pieces that you always have to watch out for with anything you do creatively. I think when there's something that is in your head, you know what it's supposed to be, and because you know it so well, right? You've been working on it, and it exists in your head, but it really exists nowhere on paper. So when someone comes into it blind and they look at that product that you have, they can't find they can't find what you're thinking, right? 'Cause you didn't really put it down in a kind of concise or obvious way. So that's the stuff I think that's important now. Is that as you were looking at it, Father Time was looking through doing edits. It was like, hey, you were you thinking this? Like, yeah, well, it reads like that. And I think part of it is we've all known each other for a very long time, so we do have a sense of each other, what we were going for. And he would point out things that were like, oh, hey, you know what? I know what you're going for here. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Okay, well, you didn't really explicitly state it. Why don't we make sure we're explicit about it? Because someone coming in blind who, they're roaming around, whether it's a store, whether they order online, they get the book. They're not going to know what we were thinking. They don't know us, and so they need to have it more explicitly there. So it's been great to have that final process, catching all those pieces that maybe were in my head and in Matt and Mike's head, and now we can get them all tied up.
100%. I just like to say that.
That's
just one of the 100%.
100%. Did you guys already talk about what characters you're playing in the campaign?
Yes, we did.
We did. What are you playing?
I am going to be an Inti priest. The Inca god of sun and
those
fire.
are the guys that die
and
early
all
on,
bright,
right?
shiny things. I feel like probably not. He's pretty bad.
Pretty bad what?
Curse on this?
You can curse on this.
You can say badass.
Badass. You can say badass. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's probably friendly.
Whoa, that's where we go.
It's a
But yeah,
badass.
it's pretty badass. He looks. It's a cool build. I haven't played a priest in a while, a religious character. So, yeah, psyched about it. Matt has created very good archetypes that are, I think, reflective of like the mythology and history, and as well as the tabletop game, like how they play in the tabletop game, but also integrating all the mythology
And respecting the culture. I will give Matt
Wait,
huge
as a high
props for
priest
that.
in the Heroes of Mythic Americas, can you bring some virgins?
I do
No.
not believe
No
we
virgins?
built that in. I think
No.
that was
Left them
in
out?
in our conversations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we felt.
that way, but they don't end up.
Yeah, we felt like that would be best left off. that's left off. That's on the design cutting room floor.
Oh,
Yeah. If
yeah,
people
yeah.
in their own home campaigns feel comfortable playing with it, they can play in however way they decide. But we felt like we would leave that up to the individual team.
Once in a while, I notice just some of the orders that come into the website. There's a lot of today. Like we came into a huge, Mythic Americas, Mythic Earth set of orders, and a couple days ago, I noticed someone ordered an Inti High Priest and an Oracle. With extra versions, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Like a side order at Chick-fil-A. I'll take the priest. I'll take the oracle. I'll take a dozen
which
virgins.
I thought was kind of cool. It's like, oh, somebody's going magic heavy,
Yeah.
like all the way, for the Incas, and that tells you that and actually, I think it was that.
I mean, we should probably flag that guy, right? Should we probably flag that order? Send someone over to check. I mean, I'm just saying, maybe check him out. I don't know.
Whatever that force is going to be, it's going to be pretty good magic heavy. Well, so you right now you're feeling pretty confident that as far as your like the writing aspect of it, you're really just down to like the final elements. One of the questions that I had for you guys during our meeting was, are you guys going to include or maybe do as a separate PDF or something later on, kind of a list of names or suggested names, depending on the force, like classic Inca names or characters. Like if you want to give your character a name.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about it. I mean, there's stuff like that out there already. I mean, there's a little bit of a history of that in original D&D, right? Where they give you some like here's a common elf names. Here's
Right.
So I mean, we could throw in something like that. We batted it around, but there's a lot. There's some ways to do that already out there, and with the internet, it seems like so easy to do that. So we didn't really include that as a piece.
I have to say, I am a real stickler for the pronunciation of these stuff.
Yes, you
because
are. It's important.
Because it is important.
Yep.
Because you see these amalgamations of letters together, and you have no sense of how to.
Agreed.
And let me tell you, I go through and I try and find true pronunciations. That is really, really difficult.
Well, because you're trying to put our English sounds, right? Like letter combination sounds that some cultures don't have that sound.
No.
They literally do not have that sound in their language,
Right.
and they have different sounds that we don't have in ours. So trying to figure that is challenging.
And trying to find Inuit pronunciations is
I struggle with
impossible.
those. I must be honest. I really
impossible.
struggle with those. I struggle with all of them.
Well, I think it's
Those in
about the
particular.
attempt, right? Like I think it's we respect the culture. We're attempting to do it. You're not always going to get like anything, right? You're not always going to get it right.
Yeah,
but if you're
agreed.
respectful, you're attempting it. You want to get it right. Your intention to get it
Yeah.
right. And I think it's good to try your best. And if we're a little off, we're a little off. I mean, I don't think it's any different than going to any country, trying to learn pieces of their language and attempting to communicate with people who you don't share a language with.
Yeah.
And I think people appreciate that in the current day. And I think it fits the same way.
Very cool.
Thanks for bailing me out.
Yeah, nice job.
I appreciate it.
I love you. Happy holidays.
Nice job. All right, well, Sooch, who's the next victim?
Eric is the final guest.
Oh, there he is. The
He
man.
approaches. He pride. Gents, have a happy New Year.
Eric, you're on the wrong side. You gotta
come over here.
Come around this
No,
way.
he's doing.
Oh, he's getting a cigar. Smart man.
I have some really serious cigars in my bag, but I'm not gonna.
These are serious cigars. These are Bolivars, dude.
Yeah, these are just minis. They're
These
good
are
cigars.
good. I'm going to smoke mine after lunch. So, you going to light up?
Yep.
So we're waiting for
That's the
Old
mic.
Man Eric,
We moved our mic.
and you're going to move over this
So
way.
the man that you talk to more than any of us online,
Old Man Eric is our,
He is our-
social media leader
the social director of Mythic Earth.
and the Council of Capilton leader who deals with the community.
Don't knock anything over.
Don't fall down. Don't fall down. Old Man Eric, did you? Oh, he fell down. Old Man Eric, did you get some pizza?
I did.
You did. Oh,
I got some meatball pizza.
All right, Old Man Eric.
Yay!
Yay! You are the oldest of all of us, aren't you?
In fact, I am.
You are. You're
Are you?
older than I am. You're older than Father Time. How is that? How does that make
How
you
does that
feel?
feel?
literally
That makes no
older
sense.
than time.
That makes no sense.
I'm literally older than
Yeah.
time, but
But,
you still have more grandchildren than I do.
That's a fact.
That's true.
And one in the oven.
And
Do
soon
you?
to have more. I don't have any grandchildren.
Well, my son moved in with somebody, so we're hoping there's an accident.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Really? Are you hoping that?
Oh, we are. I know, for sure. Yeah.
So you have one grandchild.
I have one grandchild.
Okay. So Old Man Eric is, as everyone knows, Old Man Eric, he's the most active on the social media. He's the person who deals with the community the most. He's also, he and I are kind of work as a team when it comes to putting out short stories and content, and we did some of that this year. And so when everybody out in the community anyone in the community has an idea or wants to share something new for a force or has comments or play testing, or Old Man Eric is the person to coordinate it all. And you're also the leader for the incursion scenarios.
Yep.
And you're creating a new kind of game from the worlds of Mythic Americas, Mythic Earth, that should be out at some point next year.
Yes.
Are you allowed to disclose any of this information, or?
Yeah, we can. You don't have the rules out there, so we won't talk about those. But we have 2 incursion scenarios out. We have 2 ready to publish. We're working on one. And I love this story because one of our members, Jeff, on Discord, kind of pitched the beginnings of a scenario for Mythic Americas. And as
Get closer to the mic, Eric.
Well, we're already in love, so.
I know.
So as I started going over it, I realized this would make a great scenario for incursion. It's basically called Raiding Party, and we're in the play testing mode right now, so we're excited for that. And then the other really big thing that I'm excited about is a working title of Arena Crux, which is going to be our sports game. I won't talk much more about it, but it'll be a standalone. And you know what's great about this crew is I came in today just to give an overview, and I got like 14 ideas that were phenomenal. So that's on the horizon.
We can say one thing about as a sports game. It is not a ball-driven sports game. So it's not going to be like a Blood Bowl or what did you call it? Guild Bowl?
Guild Ball.
Yeah.
None of that.
So, although it is a sports game, it's a small team-based game. It isn't based on that kind of a scoring method because, as we know, what was the game that you were talking about? The true traditional historical game. The one with the hits.
The colloquial term is Pakatak,
right?
Which was played 2 sides, a 9-pound rubber ball, and the rules are basically you cannot touch the ground.
Closer to the mic, sir.
And you can't use your hands. Wow. And nobody ever really won.
Wait, so go again. You can't. The ball can't touch the ground.
Imagine
and
a
you
heavy,
cannot use your hands.
It's like a medicine ball, yeah.
Heavy rubber ball,
yeah.
Because it was encased in rubber.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing was that many of the Central American cultures, the Taino, the Aztec, the Maya, they all had versions of this similar game, but you couldn't touch the ground.
Nope.
And you couldn't use your hands. So
holy crap.
People would get beat up just trying to keep
the
the
ball from hitting the ground.
in the air.
We should try that as a group.
So I had to ask one question.
See if that works.
I wanted to ask when I first sat down, but did I miss the news? Did Sooch go over the news?
We did the news, yeah.
Good.
Thank God you missed the news. That's all I got to say.
We talked all about the Imperialis campaign you're going to run. About the Imperialis campaign.
Yeah. Excited for that. I just got my box set.
Let me ask you, Erica, news, pro or con?
Mythic America news, Mythicos Studios news, very pro.
Good. And the other news?
Not so much.
Well, then we have to do horror movie news.
Yeah.
That'll be into that.
Damn
Listen, I
you,
listen to the
Sooch.
podcast.
Maybe we should get the Sooch's segment to change from news to something else, and we should ask the community to give us some ideas because I think people like the Sooch, don't they?
I'm not sure.
I don't even like myself, so I'm the worst person to ask.
Oh no,
that
went dark fast.
We could always do a Sooch's car corner.
So let's go back to Old Man Eric telling us about. So the sports game, that's something that we are working on for this year. We didn't get a chance to talk to Big Mike about the board game. So
that's true.
We should bring him back in here and talk about the board game. So you're he's back there. So Eric, you're looking at this is sometime in the summer, fall. How are you thinking about this?
I'm thinking closer to the summer of 24. I think that there's so many resources going into the RPG, deservedly so, that we need to condense.
You know, and I think before we start talking about time frames like that, it really kind of depends what the trajectory of the game is. I mean, we can come up with the mechanics, but if they require models, like if we decide going down that route, it would be difficult to deliver by the summer. But we could be play testing mechanics and things like that for sure.
Just the 20 minutes we talked about it today at the meeting put about 6 months onto the schedule.
Well, but that's what usually happens, though, right? I mean, if you think
Yeah.
about it, our goal this year was to get the majority of the forces for Mythic Americas, Mythic Earth
Complete. Yeah.
complete, and I think we've accomplished that, right? The RPG book, written now with the designer, so that's another thing that we've managed to do. Incursion, we didn't get the 4 scenarios that we wanted done, but we got the 2 scenarios. We got the basic rules. People are participating in writing Incursion. So those are all accomplishments for us as a company, a design studio that we've managed to do. And then we started the board game, plus we started the sports game, which I think those are big things and we should take our time in designing those and getting those out there. Plus, you guys are doing a whole series of monsters.
Oh yeah, the Creatures of the Crux.
Creatures of the Crux. That's a whole nother series of designs that are coming out. And we picked up national distribution, and we just launched an Amazon store, which we actually have to start sharing that with people as well. So it's been a crazy year. I don't know how the hell we managed to get all this stuff done.
It's just juggling. It's nonstop juggling.
It is incredible. And we brought in all production, into
the in-house,
right? So I don't know. Every time I stop and think about all the stuff that we managed to do, I feel better that we have leaders who are taking on specific projects. Because I think the RPG book is a perfect example.
Yeah.
I think Incursion and the sports game and everything that Eric's been doing is a perfect example.
Yeah.
There's a leader who takes over a specific thing that we're doing. Big Mike joining us and now taking over the board game and really focusing on the technology side of things, working with Nick. It all means that in 2024 it'll feel less haphazard and messed up. And more buttoned up, which I think will make everyone happier.
I think I would also say that with all of this, and sometimes we feel bottlenecked, there's always forward motion. Like everything's being pushed forward, and we have a game out there that's very much active and works well.
It's popular, and people are really
Yeah.
digging. I mean, dude, every time I see people joining Discord and joining Facebook, and I see the online sales all over the place. Somebody came in the other day. I think it was Mark. One of the guys came in and said, "Yeah, I was online and I was looking at the a battle report, and it was like in Lithuanian or something, and I couldn't understand obviously the language, and Google wouldn't translate it, but he was like excited about the fact that there are people all over the place playing. I can only imagine that's going to get even bigger as we go into different areas of Mythic Earth, right? Mythic Asia, Mythic Europe, Mythic Africa, Polynesian kingdoms. But so sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, not at all. Never.
So you're in the process of doing the sports game.
We are in the process of the sports game. And the other thing that I'm always looking for is on social media, on our Discord and Facebook, the community. And I actually posted a bat rep from the twins, Ron and Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And they did a 4-way game. And I don't think they were doing much bigger than starter sets, but they got their friends in that way. And they had a blast. And again, it's they bring up ideas constantly. And it's awesome. So I'm talking to them a lot. And there's so much comes from these guys that sometimes it's hard to say no to things.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
And it's hard to react quickly, even on good ideas. Mm-hmm. But we will react. And that's what, again, there's a little patience involved here, but we're listening all the time.
We're getting there. Well, what else did we do? We cover everyone? We did, right?
Thank you.
Wow, episode 100, boys and girls. Amazing.
Was it successful? Was
Yeah,
it everything
yeah.
you dreamed it would
We
be?
almost made it to 100 minutes, which I was hoping we could get to 100 minutes.
Are
but
we
we're
short?
We're only short by a few minutes. But I think that covers everything we wanted to cover. It sees us through 2023. I thought it was a great success, 2023. So yay, everybody! And now we get to play some games for the rest of the day. We're here till tonight, so we'll have a good time. And the next time we see everybody will be episode 101, and then that should be the beginning of our Heroes of Mythic Americas campaign.
Awesome.
All right, everybody. Happy New Year. We'll catch you all in 2024.
Oh, he's gonna quit now?